Shalom Akim, to Brother Ratazat Allah from GMS London camp. First and foremost, give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rukakudash, double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GreatMillStone, and blessings unto the hopeful let the Akim run the four winds, waiting to be delivered out of this sick sadistic society, Babylon the Great, man. Because we need deliverance, man. You know, just got this article of the HowTurnerRadioshow.com. You know, it's Hal Turner commentary, and its title reads "Evil," which we're living in an evil, sadistic world right now, man. And you know, we need out, man. Talking about the men of the Lord, the ones that are sighing and crying for all the abominations that's done in the midst of, man. Because these devils, these so-called white people, are really the devil in the Bible. They're sick and twisted in the brain, man. And there's no limit to their wickedness, man. You know, the Lord said you can't turn a crooked thing straight. It says evil posters promoting adult child sex appearing nationwide. Now, I'm not sure how true this poster is. They said that, you know, the person said they took a photograph in Bronx, New York, and that's where they got this picture from, and it reads pedophilia or pedophiles are people too, because love is love, man. Look, you know, this place is twisted in the brain, man. What kind of madness is this, man? You know, and these devils are just going forth with their new world order agenda, and they're doing the most sick, twisted, sadistic things to, you know, push it forward, man. You know, this total immorality and degeneracy, man, at the highest levels, man. And these are coming from the higher ups, so-called upper echelons of this society. This so-called white man, them Jewish rap banking families, the Rothschilds, propagating and pushing this madness, man, because they're sick, twisted, demon-like beings, man, you know, and they're of Satan, man. They're of the synagogue of Satan. It says, as more and more degenerate friends, sex fiends, are outed, it says, as preying on small children, there is now an effort to push pedophilia as normal and just merely another form of love. Which anyone that agrees or thinks pedophilia is normal or any form of love, you're sick as these devils that are trying to legalize it, man. And all you people are going to get put to death. This is why the Lord said, you know, he's going to destroy Babylon the Great. He says it's one of the reasons, man. Because they had the same kind of shit going on in the ancient world. You know, back in Sodom and Gomorrah, all them wicked ancient societies, you know. And now Esau has taken all that, mixed it up, and created this cesspool of wickedness called America, aka Babylon the Great, man. Where anything goes. Do as thy will. You can rape an animal, have sex with children, you know, have sex with your dog. And it's all permissible in the eyes of the so-called white man. This is supposed to be the smartest being on the planet. And these, you know, so-called civilization started with the Greeks, so that's BS as well. But with the so-called white man. But he's the one pushing all this, you know, sadistic acts across the world and talking about it's legal and it should be normalized and it's merely another form of love. Madness, man. This is why we, you know, men of the Lord are crying out. We need deliverance, man. We need to get the fuck up out of here, man. Like, if you're in the right mind, you would see this as a straight wickedness, man. Why would you even want to continue living in a place like this, man? Where anyone, you know, you can be walking with your kid and anyone can just grab your kid, pop them up the anus, and then they don't even, you know, serve a penalty for that or get any sort of punishment for that. It's legalized and seen as normal, man. You know. What kind of madness is that, man? So no one's safe, man. Not even your damn kids. You know, you could, you know, take your kids to school, whatever, drop them off at the school entrance, and then next minute he's getting popped up the anus, man. You know, by a man, woman, or beast. You know, and it's going to be seen as normal. So this is a sick, twisted place that our people want to stay in, man. Well, this is why the Lord's going to destroy 2/3 that got the mindset of they want to stay in this place with Babylon the Great. And he's going to destroy Esau, the so-called white man, the devil with the Bible, and the other nations that are, you know, pushing this madness, man. This is just to make my position on this issue clear from the outset. Sex between an adult and a pubescent child is evil and worthy of death. Yeah, it is worthy of death, man. It says on the first offense, it says, in fact, I will go so far as to say that in my worldview it should be okay to see pedophiles seized by lynch mobs and publicly hung. you know, being set on fire as they hang from the rope just before they die. Yeah, but Esau won't let that shit slide, man. Because the person that does that, he's going to put them in jail, put them under the jail, and make them look bad, like to say they did an unrighteous thing. Really, a paedophile is supposed to be put to death just like a homosexual or a transgender, or any of that. But we can't, you know, exercise the whole law of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua in this society, because we're still captives, man. Talking about you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, we're still here captives under the so-called white man, the devil, and he just, you know, does as he damn pleases, man. You know, being a demon, man. You know, permitting unrighteous decrees, and we have to live with that, man. You know, but this is why, you know, this is why the men of the Lord are crying out for Yahweh Hashem Yahushua to come and deliver us and destroy these devils, man, because he's the only one that can take him out of power. Like, we ain't gonna, you know, raise up no arms and take this devil out of power. It's not gonna work, because for one, the sword is his blessing. Talking about the so-called white man, going back to Esau. So we can't take him out that way. But only way we can take him out is by way of our Lord and Savior, man, Yahweh Shai, man, which his word Yahweh, which his name, so lucky Yahweh Shai means he to deliver, man. Deliver who? The nation of Israel, starting with the elect. You know, it says, as Cat2 TV Portland reports, one of such sign was spotted near William Primary School in West Lynn in suburban Portland. It says before quickly being taken down by neighbors. It says on that particular sign read, pedophiles are people too. It's this simple. It's this simple. Not adult, not consensual, not love. See, these are your leaders, man. These are coming from your head ups, man. Because Esau's a sick, twisted bastard, and he practices something called Sex Magica, coming from Aleister Crowley's Book of the Laws and all them other demonic books that he wrote. And in that they tell you, man, that you know the source of getting ultimate power is, you know, going through a boy's anus, man. You know, that's why all amount of kids are being kidnapped and, you know, been found missing for the longest, man, because Esau does all that child sacrifices. I just saw another report saying 48 kids in Iowa over there in America have gone missing in the past month, from the age of 13 to 20 years old. So what do you think happened to all those kids, man? They're all dead. They all did child sacrifices, man. Because why? Because the so-called white man's in leadership, and his source of power is witchcraft, man. The left-hand side and the Most High are worshipping Satan, man. And you have to do diabolical works to appease Satan's appeasing, basically, man. Which means you have to do sadistic, wicked, defiled acts, man. That homosexuality, you know, have trannies and pedophilia, orgies and all sorts, man. You know, you had this guy over here in the UK, an old pop star. He used to be in one of the top UK pop bands called E17. His name's Brian Harvey, and he's been fighting, you know, to try and so-called get his life back, because he saw something happen back in the day when he was, you know, coming up in the record label business, music business, or you want to call it, where he said his manager, a so-called Jewish rat, I think his last name was Watkins or something like that, he said he saw him do some abominable acts, man. You know, and that, you know, it partook in the acts of pedophilia, man, from way back then in the early 90s, because this is what these devils do. That music industry is, you know, is all covered in that, you know, witchcraft and pedophilia and all that shit, man. Pedophilia rings, sex trafficking rings and all of that, man. And basically he said that you even went to a club one time, and he got invited to a club with some other actors and actresses or whatever, called Browns, a club called Browns or some shit like that, and they had like basically back doors, entrances that lead to some unattended areas, you know, secluded areas in the club, where it's all painted red. The floor, ceiling and the ground were all painted red, and they led to basically different bedrooms. And he even said he saw a group of men fondling or in the company of two small children, man, no older than probably 11 or 12 years old, man. And he said they was in one room. He popped his head in and he saw about 4 or 5 men sitting in between two little children, man, getting ready to molest those kids and pop them, man, you know, and do all kinds of witchcraft and sacrifices with those kids, man, you know. So this is the society we live in, man. The real world behind the curtains, man. what you people don't fail to see. You sheeple out there fail to acknowledge, man. Thinking that everything's sweet because the lights and the the streets are still on, man, and you can still go shopping and buy your little appliances and all that for your shit, for your households or whatever, man. Not knowing that the people behind the closed doors that rule so-called shadow government, the 1%, the elite, are nothing but a bunch of ravening, not ravening, but sexual predators, man. I was gonna say even more worse words, but my mind's just hot right now, man. Reading this article and seeing, this BS, man. As I said, the man of the Lord, if you're in the spirit of, the truth, you ain't gonna be down for this shit, man. You're gonna want out of this place, man. We need deliverance, man. That's the bottom line, man. Because this place is just getting worse and worse by the day, and it's only gonna get worse, man. That's why we need deliverance. But anyway, I'm just gonna jump to the scriptures, man, because I don't even want to read the rest of this article. Because Esau's got that Nambla shit as well, and they ain't doing nothing about that. So they definitely ain't gonna do nothing about them posters getting put up. That North American Man and Boys Lovers Association ain't doing shit about that, ain't closing that down. So these devils are legalizing it on all levels. But the Lord's gonna destroy these crackers very soon, man. Very, very soon, man. Because their sins have reached up to the heavens, as it says in the scriptures. It's Isaiah 19:14. So the Lord have mingled the perverse spirit, yeah, man. Wanting to partake in pedophilia or legalizing pedophilia is a perverse spirit, man. That's it's off, man. It says the Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work. Yeah, man. Why does Egypt err, aka America, aka Babylon the Great? Because they don't attend or take notice of the Heavenly Father's law, statutes, and commandments, man, on how not to do certain things, like legalizing homosexuality, and now pedophilia and the rest of it, man, bestiality and all of that, man. All them heinous acts that these devils are trying to normalize and portray as normal. Love is love. That is BS, man. That's erring in every work. From the heads on down, man. This whole society is just depraved, man, and sickening, man. To the stomach for the men that have in their sane minds, in their sober minds. It says that Egypt to earn every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth from his vomit. See, so the Lord sees the wickedness that Esau is doing, even though he thinks he's doing it behind closed doors, and they're so-called in the shadows, so to speak. But the Lord sees what you're doing, man, and you're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to answer for all the wickedness you devils have been doing on this planet, man, especially to the children of Israel. Because guaranteed those 48 kids that got kidnapped in Iowa, I guarantee a whole bunch of them, if not all of them, Israelite children, man. Just like they did in Haiti when they started when at the time of the was it was it a hurricane or whatever that happened over there, tsunami or whatever that happened over there. There was a whole bunch of kids being kidnapped and trafficked, man, by the so-called by FEMA and all that, man. So-called ones that are supposed to be helping, but not anyway, we need out of this fucking place, man. That's the bottom line, man. We need out of this place. And as I was gonna quickly mention, this same type of shit was happening back in Sodom and Gomorrah, because it even says in this verse here, verse 4, that there was old and young, men, women and children, or really it's focusing on the men. So there's old and young men trying to bang on Lot's door to try and press on the angels, man, to try and press up on the angels and have their way with them, man. Back then in the time of Sodom and Gomorrah, man. So how much more wickedness even now? This is Genesis 19:4. It says, but before they laid down, the men of the city, all them Hamites, all them wicked sadistic pieces of shit that was back then in those two neighboring cities, it says, but before they laid down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round, both old and young. So there's definitely some pedophilia shit going on back then. It says both old and young men. It says all the people from every quarter. So they was coming to Lot's house to try and ravish the angels, man, on some sick, sadistic, twisted shit, man. And that's why the Lord had that place destroyed, man. And delivered Lot and his house, except for his wife, because she looked back. Because that's the majority of our people. They want to stay here, man. No matter how wicked this society gets, no matter how corrupt it gets, man. 2/3 of our people still want to stay in the society, man. They'll look back, you know, and get turned to a pillar of salt if they had the chance to, man. You know, just like Lot's wife. Because they're reprobate, they're gone in the mind, they're a bunch of degenerates, man. You know, just like the leaders that rule the society, they're a bunch of degenerates, man. You know, to think that legalizing paedophilia is something normal to do. But this just proves that, you know, Esau's the damn devil, and he's a stray dog that's on the loose right now, and he's gonna be captured and put in chains very soon, man, and then exterminated off the face of the earth after his servitude of 1,000 years, hardcore bondage, man. You know, because he has to go. Soulful white man just has to go, man. That's the bottom line. There's one more precept that I had. I think it was oh yeah, Ecclesiastes, first chapter. Ecclesiastes 1 and 14. This is King Solomon speaking, man. It says, I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and if you're in your right mind and you've seen all the wickedness and the works that Esau, the so-called white man, has done since his inception of stepping foot over there in the shores of America and enslaving the Native American tribes and the Hispanics and the Negro, so-called African Negroes, and the rest of the tribes, Northern and Southern Kingdom, you can see that this place needs to go. You know, innocent blood's been spilled and it's not been answered for, man, but it will be soon. It says, I'll read it again. It says, I have seen all the works that are under the sun. It says, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. Yeah, man, it's all vanity, it's all temporal, it's all lies, man, and vexation of spirit, because there's no righteousness, man, ruling right now, especially, man. As I said, morality is just totally gone. You know, you got these little rats running around, they're little monsters. You know, their morals are totally, you know, done away with. You know, that's why they're out there running amok, being little monsters. As it says, minstrous women should bring forth monsters. You know, these teens out there with the pants sagging and all that madness. But anyway, to stick to the point, you know, pedophilia, come on, man, this is fucking hell, man, this place is sick, it's twisted, man, it's so sick, man. You know, this is supposed to be normal, this is supposed to be living. This is fucking hell, man. You know, especially for the men of the Lord. That's vexation of the spirit, because we want, you know, righteousness to rule, and we want these devils to be put in chains, man, you know, once and for all. It says for verse 18, I think that's the one I want to read. It says, yeah, for in much wisdom is much grief. Yeah, man, the more you know in this truth, man, and you realize what it is and what type of society we're living in, man, the more grief you're gonna have, man. You ain't gonna be happy, man, or, you know, want to live it up and make it in the society. You want to get the fuck up out of here, man. It's like you're stuck in a damn cage, man. You can't get out, you know, stuck in a maze basically of wickedness, and we can't get out of it, man. You know, this is it says, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow, man. So if you're in your right minds and you see what's going on around the four winds, man, what this devil's propagating day in and day out, man, that should increase. You should be increased in sorrow, man, not fucking, you know, living it up joyous and all that shit. The only joy we're going to be happy with is when this place gets destroyed with them nuclear missiles, man. That's when you're going to see, you know, us leaping for joy, the men of the Lord, so to speak, you know, starting from the elect. But anyway, I'm going to close out, give all praises and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you know, until the next time I say shalom.